Hello. Hey, today we're going to be solving for the straight line distance between two given cities. So, in this case, we're going to be using the law of cosines. Now, this looks kind of like a horribly complicated diagram, but I just drew it for one major reason. Now, in this case, I drew it so that this line down here is facing south. So we know that the bearing from city A to city B is south 40 degrees to the east, which means that this angle is 40 degrees. So if this triangle here is 40, so that means that since this is a right angle, that's 90. So we have 40 plus 90 plus some angle right here is 180. So 40 plus 90 is 130. 130 plus some, this angle right here is 180. So you know that this angle is 50 degrees. Now this is a bit more complicated. This one, the bearing from city B to city C is north 25 degrees east. And this line down here is just the east line. So north is 90 degrees above it. And we know that the bearing from city B to city C is 25 degrees off of north. So this little angle right here is 25. So that means that this outer angle right here, since this is a right angle, this angle and this angle must sum to 90. And if you do the algebra, you find out that this outer angle right here must be 65. And since we know that this angle right here must be 50, this angle must be 65, and this whole line has an angle of 180, we can figure out, if I just erase this real quick here. Just erase, oh, shit, crap. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, I redrew it. I almost said a bad word, but I didn't. So we know that this is 50 and this is 65, so we know that this sums to 115, and this angle, so 50 plus 65 plus whatever this angle is 180. So 115 plus x is 180. So in this case, we get that x is 65. So we get that this angle is also 65 degrees. Now that we're also given that it takes 1.4 hours for a car traveling at 50 miles per hour to go from A to B, so you know that the distance, which is the rate of travel times the total amount of time, is 1.4 times 50, so it would be 70 miles. And this distance right here is given as 2 hours at that speed, at 2 hours at 50 miles an hour, so the total distance is 2 times 50, which is 100. So this means that if we want to solve for this distance right here from A to C, we have a side length, an angle, and another side length, so we can use the law of cosines in this case. So we know that whatever this distance right here is, x, we know that x squared is equal to, now let me just write this, maybe I will write down the original formula, just so you guys get a general idea. If you have some unknown side C on a triangle, and you know the other two side lengths A and B, and the angle opposite that side length, 2AB cosine of C. Now in this case, actually it'd probably be easier if we just labeled this C, so it's a little bit less confusing. So this is our C in this case. So in this case, we have A is 70 and B is 100, or the alternative. It doesn't really matter. And we have C is 65 degrees. So in order to figure this out, we just need to plug in everything. So we get C squared is equal to 70 squared plus, actually, nope. My bad. That should be a minus. Sorry. Anyway, it should be 70 squared plus 100 squared minus 2 times 70 times 100 times the cosine times the cosine of 65 degrees. Let's simplify this a tiny bit. We get that this is 4,900. We get that this is 10,000. And we get that, actually is 100 squared 10,000? Just do the math. So 10 squared is 100. Yeah, 100 squared is 10,000. Okay. Minus 140 times 100, which is 14,000 times the cosine of 65 degrees. So we get that c squared is equal to 14,900 minus 14,000 cosine of 65. We'll just go to another tab and calculate that real quick. Okay. Okay. So we get square root of 14,900 minus 14,000 cosine of 65. Gotta make sure my calculator is in degrees. So, okay, so I get the answer is 94.78 miles, which is approximate. So that means, hold on, I didn't quite simplify. So this means that c is equal to the square root of that junk, 14,900 minus 14,000 cosine of 65 degrees. 1,000 cosine of 65, which if you plug into a calculator, it turns out that c is approximately equal to 94.78 miles.